I'm changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way, I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I.
Yeah, it's Goddess. And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running, what you thought we bleed that? It's only one team over here, that's Cowboys, believe that. Yeah, this you got is the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out. Now don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC4L.
31 teams in the NFL. His system is designed to stop 25 teams.
Shit, I need a linebacker that's over 200 pounds. I need a defensive tackle that you got to pull away from the buffet. He's gone, so no.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, that's a large part. That's a large part of your
I gotta
team.
make this point because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So I gotta get this out before it flees me, and the nation needs to hear this.
And we are live.
What's happening?
Man, I can't even much call it, man. And listen, this is Cowboys Convos, where we have conversations about the damn Dallas Cowboys. I'm your guy, Henny DeMore, the sole proprietor of the liquor store, where we got everything you need, not to succeed, but to drink it till your liver bleeds, man. We got
Nice.
gin, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in and come get drunk inside the liquor store. And the other disembodied voice. Because listen, I might be an AI clone today too. You never know. You never know.
No
But
telling.
the other disembodied voice on this chat is my brother Landlord from Alabama, the one and only founder of Ligaments Are Us, the king of the trap. Some say the king of the South. I heard he beat up T.I. I never know. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard it. It might be true. But salute to
Ain't
my
no
brother
telling.
Landlord in the building.
What's happening, man? What's going on with y'all this morning? Hope everybody having a great morning. Make sure you hit that like, that share for the squad. It will not charge a card. Let's get it started.
Yes, indeed, man. So listen, we got a lot to discuss today, brother Land, because there's some early leaks this morning, man. Not really even leaks. Shout out to Nick Harris, because this is actually from an article that he wrote. So salute to Nick Harris. But this is
Salute the nigga.
But this is the lowdown right here, man. This is what's going on right now. They is saying, like, this is some information that they got from the combine, you know, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about each different point. Each different talking point will get its own, you know, thing, right? So we'll just go through the overall arching list, and we'll see what y'all think about this shit. Because the first one is fucked me up. Donovan Ezeiruaku is set to miss most of spring offseason program with a repaired hip labrum. That one
That
fucked
is
me up a little
not
bit.
good.
Yeah, so you know how we always talk about hurt players, hurt teams?
Yeah.
And I'll talk about this more in totality when it's his turn. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna get through the list and then we'll talk about Donovan Ezeiruaku by himself. The next thing they said sort of upset me as well. I ain't gonna lie. The first two things on this list pissed me off. The next thing it says, one name that I'm crossing off based on information this week, Tennessee cornerback Jermod McCoy. Because we watched him and he had the best tape of the corners.
I wish he would have elaborated on that.
I do too. And then the final two. Brandon Aubrey deal should get done soon. There's no bad blood. He made a Taylor Swift reference. I do not listen to that woman. Kudos to her and the success she had, but I wouldn't know a Taylor Swift song if it slapped the shit out of me. And then Kenny Clark is more likely to get an extension than to be released.
I like that part. I like that one.
Yeah, now that one I can live with. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this shit, man. And I got multiple questions. I don't know if I got answers, but I do have multiple questions in regard to, brother Easy. So let's talk about him first. So they're stating that he will likely be out until training camp. So he'll miss, like the spring workouts and shit and all that other stuff. He'll be out till training camp because apparently he had this injury all last year and he just played through it, which actually explains a shit ton. He played his entire rookie season with a fucked up hip. So
Yes, it does. Because I was
it
just
does.
about to make an example and say it's good news and bad news at the same time. But like with him being back at training camp, that ain't the bad news. Don't even really count no more. Long as he can have a full, well, you kind of want him to have his full off season, but I think he can probably make up some ground in training camp and stuff though. Like you want to get him, you know what I'm saying? He need his Vaj peanut butter and stuff. He need to get bigger and stronger and more prepared for the strength involved in the NFL. But with him having a full training camp, I think he should be okay though.
Yeah, I hope so. And like I said, man, it's not what I wanted to hear because we already are feeling the side effects of depending on players that frequently have injuries. Now, that I know what I know, he didn't miss any time, but his play and his production was hindered by a bad hip the entirety of the 2025 season. So I don't know how I'm going to count that because he didn't miss time. But, the level of play wasn't up to par to what we wanted. At least from the pass rushing department, he was great against the run. I'll give him kudos for that. So I really don't know if I'm giving him negative marks, for playing through that. Or, if I'm giving him positive marks for gutting that shit out and still being halfway productive. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I think I'm more on the bullish side of it. I'm more on the positive side of it because it explains a lot to me. Because we was wondering why he didn't pull out his full bag. The man probably was trying to just maintain and play through it. You know what I'm saying? We know how the Cowboys is too. Like you a rookie. We already expect a lot out of you. You basically a starter coming out the gate. Like you probably can't afford to miss too much time, to be honest. And I think he probably just had a good foot forward trying to be successful.
I agree. And hey, I love this motherfucking comment. Calhoun said hips don't stop bench press. Easy better have his ass in the gym.
Facts.
Like, yeah, you ain't bullshitting. If your hip bad, you can still do pull-ups, press-ups, dips. You work your arms, boy. Shit, bench press. Goddamn me, diamond push-ups. Like, you can do anything.
He got to get stronger.
Yeah.
Him and James Houston. Both of them got to get stronger.
Bro,
and like, James Houston might just be who he is.
I just finna
Go
say it's
ahead.
too late for James. That's all I was gonna say. I didn't mean to cut you off. James Houston, who the fuck James Houston is? That boy ain't no young player. He done
Man,
been in
I
the
ain't gonna
league like
lie.
6, 7 years.
For the good reps we seen, like I'm not here to bash James Houston. We seen some great reps from him. Like when he win, it looks impressive. But I'm gonna tell you on the opposite end of the spectrum, when he lose, it looks real bad. Like they manhandle him when he lose. He's a small player. You get a big tackle that got some decent feet, he might dog walk James Houston. Like he's a situational guy, and I think he can cut up in certain situations, but he's not a long stay type of guy. He's not a 3 down type player.
No, definitely not. And it's okay to be a designated pass rusher. If your superpower is just rushing the passer and that's all you can do, teams will find a spot for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't really have no starting level defensive ends last year. Knowing what we know now about Eazy-E, he couldn't be effective in the pass rushing game because he could. You need your hips to be a good pass rusher, man. You got to dip. You got to be able to hit that corner. If your damn hip trying to go out, that shit is not going to help you out. So we know that he was limited now, and then we know for a fact, that Jadeveon Clowney been playing football since Noah built the ark. That boy is old. So, and he was good though. He was great. But point being, the two ends you were depending on the most was young and injured, and old and still holding on. That what the hell you had at defensive end last year.
And that's what makes it sound kind of crazy for them not to be interested in Davian Clowney no more. He was probably your best end on your team. Now maybe they saying, hey, huh?
I said hands down.
Yeah, so maybe they was looking at it like Donovan wasn't full Donovan Ezeiruaku yet, and he'll probably be a better player next year. Maybe they looking at it like that. I don't know. But with our defensive end situation, I don't think we should be too bougie on letting players go already and shit. That's why I ain't gonna lie. For the smallest dollar figure I can get Sam Williams for, I'm willing to keep him. Cause I need to be sure that I ain't got nothing right here, and it won't even be a risk. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you sign him back for a little money, it won't even be a risk. And then you can set it up to where he can still be cut if you don't like what you see like mid-season or some shit. Like I just want to be sure before we get to letting players go at a big time position of need.
I understand that, but I also understand the flip side. You know how we always say we have like 3 different systems and we got the same players?
Yeah.
I think they might finally be trying to move away from that shit. So like if they feel like Sam and Clowney and them don't fit what they want to do, I'm gonna trust them on that. Because if you get all these new melanated superpowered Negroes in here, and they say, hey, we love Clowney, we respect him, but he don't fit what we trying to do, honor that. If Sam don't fit what they want to do, honor that. If they end up back here, that means that they fit what they trying to do. So if they fit what they trying to do, go for it. But like, if they rather have like Brandon Chubb, because I know that the pass rushing specialists that they brought in, and some of the other guys on the staff have already worked with him and been with him, and they fit the shit they run. If they rather have a Bradley Chubb than a Jadeveon Clowney, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If they would rather have this person than that person, especially like the depth positions, I'll trust them on that.
I think Sam was standing up at Ole Miss though. So that
Sam will
might
get
be a more natural position for him. So I don't know if it'll be fit for Sam. It'll just be, do they trust the guy or do they project him to be better? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I think he actually do fit for that. If my memory serves me correct, he was standing up at LSU. I mean, at Ole Miss.
Yeah, but Clowney stood up too. They saying that he don't fit what they trying to do. So it might be more than just they just have playing in a 3-4 base system before. We'll see
They
what
had
they talk
Sam
about.
playing in the interior too. They was using him wrong, I felt like.
He said 2.5 is the market for Sam, and that price bring that nigga to camp. That's my boy
Yeah.
Devin. He said CP looking
See,
at the
that's
tape
why
like let go off all these niggas.
I ain't lying now. I wouldn't be mad. Like he said, to be fair, I trust what they say because, this they new program. They know what they need. They got a vision for the defense. I would trust it, but I would like to see some decent talent replaced in here. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Some people who we can say, okay, I see the vision. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to get to cutting people too early and then we don't know what type of replacements we got, reinforcements we got.
Yeah, especially with that news, because I'm not, and this is what concerns me about the Donovan Ezeiruaku topic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there for this camp and all this other shit. How healthy will he be after having hip surgery? What's the actual turnaround on that shit?
And hips is a very important part of pass rushing.
Boy, that's
I ain't
part
gonna
of
lie.
very important part of them living as a human being. Do you know how hard it is to move around?
Exactly. And that's supposed to be one of the superpowers for a pass rusher, dipping your hips and being able to bend around them corners and shit like that, man. So I don't know that shit. I expect him to heal well because he's a very young man, but I just want to know how much of a setback this might be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that shit.
I don't know if I ever heard of the word labrum, to be honest with you.
I know that you
I'm
got
not a
labrum.
medical physician.
I heard labrum before, but I thought you had one in like shoulder and shit too. It must be like a kind of ligament. Now, landlord, you
It
snatched
might
all
be
these
a ligament.
ligaments.
Yeah.
You got labrums in your shoulders and your hips. Now, I'm gonna Google what labrum means. A labrum is a ring of cartilage lining the shoulder or hip socket that cushions the joint, deepens the socket for stability, and acts as a seal. It stabilizes the ball and socket joints and assists in proprioception. Tears often occur from sport injuries, falls, and wear and tear, causing pain, clicking, or instability. So you do got labrums in your shoulders because remember Dak played through a torn labrum at the end of 2019 in his non-throwing
Yeah.
arm, and you got labrums in your hips because I guess those are the two places where you got ball and sockets, inserts on your body. So you got labrums there to keep the ball in place. That's how your shoulder rotates. That's how your hips rotate. All the other good stuff. So I'm guessing that's how it functions. So that's what he
I
meant
gotta
there.
go. I gotta check my labrum inventory. Uh, Devin, I gotta check my labrum inventory, see if I got a couple of them over there, a couple of loose labrums over there somewhere.
Loose labrums is crazy because it sounds like it's something different. I ain't gonna lie, it sounds like it's something different.
I ain't gonna lie though, man. I don't know if y'all know that this totally off subject, but it's gonna be real quick. I don't know if y'all know I love science, bro. I'm a science nerd. And when you think about the human body, I'd be amazed how people don't be understanding that it's a creator. Like, you need every single thing in your body for it to function right. Like, damn near every single thing. Everything got a purpose. If you can't tell that it was a designer to this great creation we call a human body, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's crazy. Did you hear all that a labrum did, and you barely even know what the hell it is?
And it's in your body.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
That's your shit. You already know what your shit do.
What they say, the good Lord know every hair on your head. That's one of them right there, bro. He know more about you than you. So it's just crazy when you think about stuff like that, man. But let's get back to it.
Nah, you Gucci. I'm gonna see if I can put my face on here without the program exploding. So give me 2 seconds.
But man, yeah, y'all know we be working in the morning time, man. Salute to everybody in the chat while we in this little small intermission. Hey, Paul, somebody was smart and intentional. Like, the human body got so many systems and shit just working together, and we ain't doing shit. We just sitting here. Like, man, you can't tell me it ain't no creator. That's crazy.
Yes, indeed, man. But yeah, doggy. He said, what did he have surgery on? He had surgery to repair his hip labrum. So he'll miss, the early part of workouts like spring workout and everything else. But he should be back for Oxnard is what they're saying. He'll be back for Oxnard. So that's what he had surgery on, his hip. And he played through a bad hip all his rookie season. And that explains a lot. The dude with the biggest bag in the draft, what wasn't out there using pass rushing moves. That explains a shit ton of it, honestly. I ain't gonna hold you. Explains a whole lot.
Cause he didn't trust his body. He couldn't move like he wanted to.
My body different.
Body definitely different.
Yeah, dog. But let's move along because we got another one to talk about. Because remember, they said that they crossed out a name of Jamad McCoy. Now, landlord, you and me did a very in-depth film study. The film study was so in-depth on Jamad McCoy, they stopped our stream. Like they bombed both me and landlord's channel. Before the United States went to war, before the United States went to war with Iran, they went to war against the liquor store and the track. And they dropped bombs on our shit. We were leaking too much information on Jamad McCoy. So
they came out though.
Like boom! Like what the hell was that? They dropped the bomb on my Wi-Fi. They said next time they gonna drop it on the house. They quit playing.
We had to shut the screen down. They said they ain't playing with us.
Not in the slightest. But how do you feel about that, Land? Like knowing what you saw on film, because I can't sit here and act like I too much care about the injury anymore. Because as it stands, right, Donovan Ezeiruaku is another example of you don't have injury history in college and you hurt the moment you touch a toe on NFL turf. Because he didn't miss no games with injury in his collegiate career. He didn't have an injury history. Donovan, not Donovan, but Trayvon Diggs didn't have an injury history, but he, missed a lot of time these last 3 years. Overshown didn't have an injury history, but he done missed most of his career up to this point. So I get it. I understand, where people are coming from, having missed a year with an ACL. But if you're dope, man, like you can't pass on somebody for that, especially since it's been this long removed. He's gonna work out at his pro day. He already told y'all he's gonna work out and run at his pro day. You can all come see him then. So I'm not really sure what the issue is, man. I understand he didn't test at the combine, but there's plenty of guys that didn't test at the combine. I don't even think Mansour Delane ran.
I was about to say maybe he wanted to make sure he was at his peak. And the pro days be a little biased too.
He said we drafting Delane. And listen, I have nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Delane. But I swear to God, if y'all watch the film, that Gerard is better. I seen Delane give up a play that this man ain't never thought about giving up. Because Lane, it was like a deep over, wasn't it, on that big ass play Delane that gave up?
Yep. And there wasn't even no superstar wide receivers.
There was a couple times that if the ball went his way, and the ball actually got to where the lane was covering, that would have been a big play. And there wasn't really many instances of that with Jamad's tape. Like Jamad was knocking shit down. Like there was no space to breathe. There was no air over there. It was like he was in space. That nigga, matter of fact, I'm gonna call that nigga Space Station. Ain't no air with that nigga at.
It's a vacuum. It's
It's a
a vacuum
vacuum,
in
bro.
that motherfucker. I just told y'all I was a science nerd. My bad.
You good,
But
man.
hey, wait a minute though. Think about this. What if this is the chance that we supposed to took, man? Because we don't have a great history with injured players, though. You know what I'm saying? But you can't pass up on all of them. You can't take all of them, and you can't pass up on all of them. So we kind of in a pickle with this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. He said my audio coming in choppy as fuck. I'm gonna leave it come back. If we had a second, I'd be all in on him. Hey, if he slide to 20, because at that point, you know, let's be 1,000% when we talk about these late round draft picks. If there isn't 20 names, you know, because let's be 1,000. There's 30. There's 32 first round picks, and there's not remotely close to always being 32 first round prospects. I don't care how good they grade out. You know, coming out of a combine, what do they tape say? If they don't got first round tape, they're not first round players, regardless of what they ran, what they jumped, none of that. So year after year after year, you know, there's got to be 32 picks in the first round. There's not always guys with, you know, first round grades. Yeah, so if you get to 20,
Ken X Clout, it was Nick Harris who reported that.
Yeah, it was an article that Nick Harris wrote. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can get it pulled up. I've been having issues getting on when I say getting on X, it sounds so dirty. I've been having issues getting on Twitter. I've been having issues getting on Twitter, dog, for my laptop.
You know, that H word that you coined.
Dog, never. And then, yeah, that coin is crazy. That is crazy. Hold on, man.
That boy got famous off of H word. It's crazy.
Hell
but
man.
nah, JV, if Kenyon Sadiq is there, man, I'm gonna be so sad if we don't drop him. And I know he ain't got all that production in college and shit like that. But man, Oregon had a lethal ass offense. They had so many people to get the ball to. So I ain't gonna blame them on that. But you know, some people look. Odell didn't have all that crazy production in college, did he?
Yes, he did.
A lot of people don't. Oh, he did.
Odell went
my
crazy.
Bad. But it's a couple of people that don't have all that type of production in college and then cut up in the pro.
For wide receiver, yeah, because it depends on your quarterback. That's the one I will give you.
That's what I'm saying.
There are some dope wide receivers that played with god awful quarterbacks and they didn't have them done. Look at Luther Burden. Like he had a great year that first year that his numbers dipped horribly. It cost him being drafted in the first round, matter of fact. Like he ended up going in the second because of how bad his last year was. But the quarterback he playing with was out there committing war crimes.
Jordan Addison had to go to a good quarterback too.
Let's see. Who did Jordan Addison play with in college?
He played for some small school at first. Pitt? Did he play for Pitt?
Oh, he played with Kenny Pickett his entire time then, if that's the case. Yeah, he played with Kenny Pickett. He played with Kenny Pickett, then he played with Caleb Williams, I think.
You mean to tell me he wouldn't have had a better career if he would have played with Caleb Williams the whole time?
Yeah, but Kenny Pickett was hooping in college. Remember, that's how he went so high in the draft. I think Kenny Pickett was a good college player. Just none of that bullshit translates to the NFL. You remember when he hit the hezzy on the dude, like he faked the slide and he kept going for the touchdown?
Because he was at Pitt.
So was that nigga.
He went to a real conference and balled out too.
Is it not the same conference? Pittsburgh, Pitt, and USC? And
all that damn sure is, man.
Yeah, I think he just went to a different school. He went to a bigger school in the same.
He went to
conference.
USC. Yeah.
But see, Jordan Addison, like matter of fact, I actually held that against Jordan Addison. I ain't gonna hold you. Like you played with 2 NFL quarterbacks your entire career. You supposed to have hoop, nigga. Like even
And
if
he came in and still, hey, he came in and balled out.
Yeah, so like I had like a negative thing on him. Like, well, you did play with nothing but NFL caliber quarterbacks. You better have put up some numbers, boy. But I'm glad that he kept showing that he was like that when he got over here, to the NFL. And I guess
Kenny Pickett was sorry though. He turned out to be sorry though.
He turned out to be sorry as hell at the NFL level, yeah. But he was a good collegiate quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's the equivalent of playing with like Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was out that bitch airing that hoe out. You knew that little ass boy wasn't finna do that shit in the NFL, but he
what I told you,
play with in college.
Situations, systems, bro. Some systems will have you looking elite out there, bitch, and you might be sorry, but your system's so dope that you gonna consistently have open people to throw the ball to. It's a timing-based system. You ain't gotta hold the ball. As long as you get the ball in a vicinity, it's gonna be a completion. Like, it's a lot of systems that can set you up for success, bro. So them situations and systems, you gotta watch that shit. I'm not gonna lie. That's why we judge a lot of quarterbacks on the pro level throws. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily just the reads.
Mm-hmm. Also, salute to Bobby King for the Cash App, man. I appreciate you for always keeping us from starving and eating fugazios. I appreciate you for your support, my brother. He said DC4L. Thank you very kindly, brother.
Appreciate you on my side, too.
Yes, indeed, man.
And Mrs. Dika said she had a hip replacement. She said it took her how long? I had meant to say it, but I forgot.
Let me go up here and look.
It was in the comments somewhere. She said it's gonna take a certain amount of time. I'm not taking nobody's experience away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had to deal with that.
Real talk.
But I ain't saying it's gonna be the same, but it might give you an idea.
Yeah, salute to Mr. Dika though. He said killing the boys, it was a quick 3-step drop and 5-yard passes. Yeah, and a whole bunch of yak. Cause them wide receivers out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I still would have Hadramad on the board. Maybe they're concerned about the injury. Maybe they're concerned that he didn't work out. I don't care. The tape says that this is the best cornerback in this draft. The tape says, and listen, I sort of understand why Jerry Jones and them be taking these risks on these players, the way that they do. I sort of understand why they took a chance on Jalen Smith in the second round, because he was supposed to have been a top 5, top 10 pick before we got hurt. And if he could ever get back, he was going to be a monster, right? Because his tape was amazing coming out of Notre Dame, right? I understand, why they take some of these chances, because I feel that way about Jamal McCoy right now. Like, you line up anybody else in this draft, Delane, Avion Terrell, all them boys, he's the better player, dog.
Salute to my security in the building. She said, what up here in Atlanta, Lord? Y'all was cooking Saturday. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you.
Indeed, and we appreciate y'all for coming and getting plates, man. Because what's a good shelf without customers, man? What's a good shelf without people to feed, man? So we appreciate y'all for coming in.
Absolutely. But think about it though. I used to be mad at them for that mindset though. I ain't even gonna lie, cause I feel like it's coming from a cheap place. It might be because of who we talking about. We know how they operate in a cheap mindset. You know what I'm saying? They want to get a big time deal. We know when the deal sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true. You know what I'm saying? If you're an adult, you can't think of many times where you actually got that great deal and there wasn't no negatives and it was all the way foolproof. Like, you usually get what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? You usually do, just being real. So like, when they go for them players like that, they be trying to get a top player for a small price. That shit just don't work out like that a lot of the time. It just won't. You gotta pay for what you want most of the time. You're not finna get a Louis Vuitton bag for $20. I know it sounds good. It looks real. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not.
But that motherfucker probably
That is not
thinner than a
Louis.
motherfucker. That is not Louis. That's Huey.
Nah.
Huey Vuitton.
That's Langston, nigga. That's, still gotta be his Langston.
Langston Velvet.
it's still LV.
Is it Velvet? Is that Velvet? Let's just say Velvet. But nah, man, you just not finna get it, bro.
Yeah,
like, and the quality shit that you pay for. Cause like I buy certain brands, you know what I'm saying? Premium brands. And like it don't necessarily just be about the name. Sometimes the quality is worth it. Like you might buy that shirt and that mug lasts forever. Like for real. Like it's certain qualities and certain brands that last much longer than others. That's why they put premium products into what they making. So like you might buy that one time opposed to buying something cheaper 16 times. You know what I'm saying? Like it just depends. So quality over quantity, I'd say.
I agree. You know, and that was always, and that was always my standpoint when you pay for a position. If you want a good player at the position you're paying for, you got to pay what the market price is for that player. If you want a good quarterback, you're going to pay about $50 to $60 million. What good quarterbacks get. If you want a good wide receiver in this day and age, you're going to pay $30 plus million, maybe even 40 if he's the next nigga up and he like that, right? Like it is what it is. So I understand what you mean by paying for what you want. And that's the same thing even in the draft though. But if you want because listen, I know that people hit and the guys come out of nowhere and they set the league on fire. I think if I'm not mistaken, like 80% of the starters in the National Football League were first round picks. Or former first round picks. Like 80% of the starters in the National Football League were former first round picks.
Well, that says a lot right there. How many? 80?
Yeah, I think it's close to 80%.
Good Lord. So that says you a lot. That says stop playing around. And then look, another thing it says, even if you are an undrafted guy who miraculously break through, or you a second, third, fourth round guy who miraculously break through, more than likely, you're not going to have a long shelf life in the league. You know what I'm saying? You probably still won't have a long shelf life even if you do make it through.
Yeah, the NFL long. It already stand for not for long, dog. So yeah, we going to the playoffs. Shit, I gotta see what they do in the. It's too early, dog. I don't know. We keeping our all-pro wide receiver. I gotta see what moves they make on the defense. I gotta see how this new defensive coaching staff is moving. There's too much shit going on for me to say that yet, man. You just had the fourth worst.
If you don't bring George Pickens back, you gotta do even more on defense
and offense at that point.
You gotta do even more. Facts.
If you don't bring George Pickens back, I'm not even gonna worry about drafting a wide receiver. I might just need to not throw the goddamn ball. I might have to go get Jeremiah Love or some crazy shit with the 12th overall pick. If we don't bring that nigga back, we're gonna have to probably just change how we play. For real. If we
and look, that might work.
It might work. I'm not taking anything away from it because a good run game carries. I done talked too many times about how we never have a run game in the postseason. But just the add on to the point I was finna make. You threw the ball 600 times last year with Dak Prescott. He threw the ball 600 times, the most of his career. And you mean to tell me you would take a weapon away from that nigga, and that's how they've been out here playing, throwing the ball around the yard like that? You could make the argument we were in, Big 12 shootouts and shit because our defense was so ass, and he had to put up 40 points, that for us to have a opportunity to win those football games. But unless you're telling me we're going to change how we're playing, unless you can unless you can, guarantee me that we have the top rushing attack in the NFL, and that can just live and feed off of play action, and CeeDee Lamb and Ryan Flournoy will give favorable matchups, because of that and shit. Cool, like you can talk me into some shit, but if we gonna be out here airing that hoe out, that gonna kill the weak ass run plays, and he gonna be out there bitch stretching the field and shit. He gonna need another wide receiver, sir.
What if we do this? Because look, I'm not married to my idea. I just don't want to significantly hinder my team and have to figure everything else out. So let's try this method. What if we do happen to trade George Pickens and get some draft capital or a player or two or something on defense? Let's not say Max, or just a great player, somebody that's dope or something. I don't know. What if we did that, and then we went crazy in free agency, right? We draft Jeremiah Love and Kenyon Sadiq, and we changed the way we play. Like you said, instead of airing it out to the wide receivers, now you got a dope tight end you can throw the ball to, and you got two running backs with a gangster line that should be able to run block like nobody's business. Play action with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb,
and those weapons. Yeah, if you take it back to 2016, and you have a dude like Jeremiah Love and Javonte Williams, and you have the number one rushing attack, and Dak is this version of Dak Prescott, and he can just control the game and pick and choose the when to take advantage of matchups or shit. Oh yeah, I'll do that. As long as you improve the defense significantly, like I would do that. I agree with you. Like, we have no control at the end of the day whether or not George Pickens is actually here. That's going to be up to George Pickens. It's going to be up to his agency. It's going to be up to Jerry. Like, that shit is outside of our hands. So if it came around and we couldn't keep George Pickens, but we could turn George Pickens into like a first round pick, and we can, go out there and finagle, get better on defense and shit, get Jeremiah Love, change the way we do shit. Cool. Like, you might be able to talk me into that. But dog, I don't trust these niggas like that. That's a lot of willing and dealing for a front office that generally loses most of these negotiations. What if you can only get a second round pick for George Pickens? You know what I'm saying? What if you can only get, like 2/3 or some shit? Like, what if they bomb this shit so bad? Nowhere the return on investment for George Pickens. I don't. We
gotta have a floor. We can't just be around here playing around now. You know what I'm saying? Just giving them up for anything. Like, we can't play like that.
Yeah, because listen, it's not that deep. Listen, I understand where my brothers in this content space are coming from when they throw their ideas out there. Like, they have great ideas, and if they were in charge of the Dallas Cowboys, and because I trust them, in charge of the Dallas Cowboys, I would trust their plans. But Jerry's in charge of the Dallas Cowboys, so I go with what I think is going to happen, and I think will get us closer. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got great ideas, but they'll do shit like that. Jerry, I'm out. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? So nah. Like, I much rather just keep George.
For sure. But to be fair, like, let's exercise real quick this type of mindset. All right. At what point do you say, okay, I don't know if this defense gonna be up to par? So what's the only other alternative after that, right? The only alternative after that is to slow the game down.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what we was doing in 2016 and shit. Slow the game down, run the ball, keep the defense off the field. Score, do them long, methodical drives where you got 16, 17 play drives and score touchdowns and shorten the possessions up. That's about your only other way to attack this shit. So, at what point will make you go to that type of extreme measures?
If they start striking out early in let's see, if they start striking out early in free agency, if they aren't able to get guys like Trey Hendrickson, if they're not able to get guys like Owe, if they're not able to get the top end pass rushers, if they're not able to get some of the better free agents out there on the defensive end, if they can't get Tariq Woolen, if they can't get Eric Stokes, if they can't get some of these other names floating around, if they end up just getting okay starters in this bitch, then you're gonna have to just wholeheartedly go to play and keep away. Also, JV, he asked the question, how would that be possible, HTM? All they have to do is not match the offer and get 2 firsts correct. Yeah, but this is the thing. Remember, nobody has gotten 2 first-round picks off of the Kleiniger offer sheet, since like 26 years ago when we finagled them, like we got finagled on the Joey Galloway situation. Most times when teams end up what teams end up doing is they end up actually trading the person away, because most teams nobody's going to give up 2 first-round picks and give up a new player. It hasn't happened in almost 30 years. Like, for example, look at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs put the non-exclusive tag on Ladarius Sneed, how you say the young man's name, and all they got back, because they traded him away to the Tennessee Titans eventually, was the 3rd or 5th. Because remember, the Titans turned around and made him the highest paid corner in the National Football League at the time, right? So he only got a 3rd and he was an all-pro. He went an entire year without giving up a touchdown. So
that shit didn't help them at all.
Don't actually give. But the Titans, no. The Titans were horrible. So the thing I'm saying is that, like, if there's an offer on there and we don't match the offer, that would happen. They're going to give him an offer sheet to sign. They're going to call the Dallas Cowboys personally and work out to trade for him. They're not even going to put an offer sheet out there for him to sign. They're going to negotiate, the terms and conditions of render. Like, hey, we ain't get, but I got a 2nd and a 3rd over here. What you trying to do? The Dallas Cowboys gonna pick up the phone and say yay or nay. If they say yay, they'll do a trade and ship him out off over there, and then he'll sign an extension. But teams circumvent the offer sheet all the time. They're like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, like you just said, I brought it up the other show that Lamar Jackson was on one of those, and nobody gave up 2 firsts for him, and he was an MVP and all that. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody giving up 2 firsts for George Pickens. So we can just let that go. And if they do, shit, I'm even on board for that. Like, I ain't even go. If somebody give up 2 firsts, bro, I ain't got shit else to say. I ain't got nothing else to say, bro. Look, that just shows you how dedicated I am to the Cowboys, bro, and for us to prosper. If somebody give us 2 first-round picks for George Pickens, you won't hear a fucking peep from landlord. I promise you. I'm gonna be like, shit, hey, let's party. Shit, draft me a wide receiver. Hey, and let's fucking boogie. I'm not married to my ideas to that degree. I just want to prosper. That's all.
Yeah, and you will have 3 of them hoes this year, because they got to give you up their next 2 first-round picks. So it'll be the first-round pick this year and the first-round pick next year, right? So yes, and just so y'all understand what I'm talking about, what my brother JV was talking about was the offer sheet route. team puts an offer sheet out there to the player. The player signs it. If the other team doesn't match it, that team gives the team that's picking up the player will have to give up 2 first-round picks or the equivalent, right? So that if they don't have 2 first-round picks, let's say they got a first this year, they got a second and third, and whatever the next year, they can give up all those picks until it matches in points to a first-round pick, right? Voluntary trade, though, is what most teams do. Like, they can finagle, they can ask for more, but generally they get less. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with the Snead stuff just happened a couple years back, they only got a third and a fifth, for Snead, because Tennessee, like, nigga, we got to give him this big ass contract. We can't give you our souls for a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? He a dope ass cornerback, but we can't give you our souls for this cornerback. So please take this third and the fifth and get out my face. And they say, you know what? We out your face. We got it done. That's usually what happens. Because remember, the only team stupid enough to give up 2 first-round picks for a wide receiver in the last 30 years were the Dallas Cowboys, and that shit blew up in our face. Last time it happened was Joey Galloway. So it's not going to happen in this instance. Now, they might be they might be out there, finagling. They might be able to get a combination of stuff. Also, hey, real quick though, I did want to throw this out there. Me and Lan got a whole new channel we finna drop, man. We got a whole new channel. Lan, you wanna fill them in on this, man? Because this is a group project and shit. So you wanna fill them in on how this is finna go down? My brother making a ligament deal. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I was about to say we got a new channel. It's called Hennyland, and I think y'all gonna enjoy it. Y'all know we like 2 of the baddest duos in the world right now. So us doing some stuff outside of football content, I think y'all will love it. I think y'all will enjoy it. I think it'll be fun. But it's called Hennyland Reactions. I'm finna try to get the link so if y'all could be our first subs. We just not putting it on the market. We need y'all support. So hold on. Take over here.
Nah, you Gucci. And we'll talk some more football while we looking there. He said the Cowboys don't have to negotiate though, right? Isn't that part of their leverage? Yes. They don't have to negotiate. Dallas Cowboys don't have to do shit. Right? The Dallas Cowboys could put them on the tag, and walk away until July the 10th or July the 14th or whatever the day is before before George can't sign a long-term extension. Right? They don't have to do anything. They don't have to negotiate. They could really just tag him and wait till time runs out and he just forced to play on the franchise tag for the season. They don't have to, listen to teams try to negotiate them down, from 2 first-round picks. They could really say, we want 2 first-round picks. If you want George Pickens, sign him to an offer sheet. We won't match, and you send us our compensation. We're not trying to hear none of that shit. Right? The Dallas Cowboys don't have to negotiate. They don't have to negotiate. If the Dallas Cowboys say we want 2 first-round picks, bitch, we want 2 first-round picks. So you are correct. They don't have to negotiate, but they have the power to. And most teams, end up feeling okay with negotiating because they just want something back from a player that they know they don't want to pay. The Chiefs knew they did not want to pay Snead. Regardless of how good he was, they did not want to pay Snead. So they just wanted to get something back from Snead. They just didn't want to lose Snead for nothing. So they were fine with going in, doing a voluntary They did a voluntary trade, negotiated, that contract, that exchange, that package, and they sent them on his way. Right? That's what most teams end up doing. Most teams don't actually put the offer sheet out there. Most teams don't put the offer sheet out there. And when they do, most of the times, a lot of the times, actually, the team that, put the non-exclusive tag on there, they match it. Because these tags don't go on, premium positions. A lot of times they put this shit on like guards and shit, boy. But no, they don't have to negotiate if they don't want to. That's correct. Said we keep. I'm not even gonna put any more thought in. I mean, that's my preference. I always say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. What to do to replace George Pickens or the birds in the bush? You don't know shit about them birds. You still gotta catch them birds. You know what I'm saying? George them being over here, you know, in your house, you know, parroting you, you know, eating sunflower seeds and chilling. You already know how this bird fly. Yeah, he said, yeah, there's only been 2 teams to give up 2 first-round picks for a wide receiver, and we are one of them. We always end up on the wrong end of history in that regards. Like, we always end up as the example of what not to do in contract negotiations and shit. We do. We always end up with that distinction. All right, let's move along. Because there was a couple more things I did want to touch on before we got out of here. Because we already talked about Donovan Ezeiruaku. We already talked about Jamad McCoy. You know, how well he played and how much I think of him as a player and a prospect. Oh, hold on now. I'm finna put this in the chat box. I gotta put the link in the chat box to Hennyland. So y'all hold that thought. My good ligament dealing brother is back. He had a cut off a labrum. See, y'all have landlord so befuddled. He was upset and went and cut a nigga labrum just so he could see what one looked like. He didn't want y'all to believe he didn't know what his own product. So he had to stop the show and cut a nigga labrum off.
I had to go check it out. Check out the inventory, man. But I'll send it to you in your text message. I don't know if you can share it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I received it. I just gotta go in here and add it in.
Yeah, see if they can go on there and sub to it. I don't know. I might have did it wrong, but we're gonna see.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time, but you know, we are real. He said, have you guys talked about PJ? Oh, I'm sorry. Have you guys talked about PJ Locke being an acquisition? I seen Boss Film breakdown. I'm good. Shout out to Boss. Because he
said she gonna let you snitch this time.
Like, nah, I'm good on that. Damn, that's crazy. Don't do me like that, Peaches. Don't do your boy like that. I put it in there though. That's the way to see it on both sides now. If you click that link for Hennyland reactions, you should be able to see it and go out there.
Yeah, see if they can go on there and sub to it. I don't know. Yeah, we want a couple subs on there before we start pushing content, but yeah. I see somebody subbed already, so let me see.
My boy said, salute to y'all.
Yeah, I see somebody
showing love.
Man, so the more subscribers, the quicker we gonna start putting content on there. So y'all make sure y'all go sub up, man. We gonna have some fun over there. I already know it. Y'all know how me and Hen get down.
Yes, indeed. Oh, JV sub, Common Sense Lab sub. Already, man. I appreciate y'all good people for showing up, man. I said I hope Boss watch it.
Already, man. We're gonna have some fun over
Thompson
there
today. We'll look at that. Yes, indeed. Ken subs, salute to y'all, man. But listen, you have to escape though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Time has escaped. Yeah, time has escaped me, so I got to escape myself. So I appreciate everybody for coming in and supporting. We did just about an hour of content. Thank y'all for all the love and the support. Lan, you got anything you want to add before we get out of here, man?
That's it, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Like we said, appreciate everybody that went over there and subbed to the new channel. we on a new beginnings, man. We finna rock the YouTube space again in a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all support, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, indeed, man. And hey, in the words of my brother, West Coast Cowboy. Oh, one other thing, we gonna have a brand new intro on this bitch pretty soon. So we gonna have a new intro.
We got an intro coming. Salute to the intro goddess. You got it. She going crazy. She got a new one brewing up. And it's gonna be for the new season. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. She going crazy on that. So salute to her. And we got a lot of stuff coming for y'all, man. So y'all stay tuned and stay tuned in. The link in the chat, Clebo. Maybe drop it one more time here before we go.
Hold on. Let me see. I get it in here real quick.
Oh yeah, she going crazy. 214. She put on
All
for
right,
the
cool.
squad, man.
Yeah, it's in there.
Absolutely, man. Y'all sub up and y'all tap in with us, man. We
Yeah.
appreciate y'all.
Yes, indeed.
It's just a
free.
normal subscription, Miss Peaches. It's free.
It's just a sub, Peaches. It's a regular YouTube channel.
Yeah, we just trying to grow it before we start pumping out content.
Yeah, we ain't taxed.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed, man. But shit, I gotta escape though. God bless America. God bless the Cowboys. Fuck David Mulugeta and fuck Jerry.